Lamentations chapter 1 opens up with a description of Jerusalem's destruction, and it describes Jerusalem using the pronoun she. For example, it says, "She weeps bitterly in the night with tears on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she has none to comfort her." It describes how Jerusalem was once filled with people, but now it sits desolate like a widow. Jerusalem was once great, but now they are enslaved. The one writing this lament is calling on people who are passing by to look at Jerusalem's suffering. And it describes how the suffering is coming upon them because of their constant sin against the Lord. Because of this, Jerusalem has to be disciplined by God because God disciplines those he loves, and he loves his chosen nation. And Jerusalem actually acknowledged that they had rebelled against God, and they acknowledged his justice as well. They speak about how they have no comfort anymore. It says, "They heard my groaning, yet there is no one to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that you have done it. You have brought the day you announced. Now let them be as I am." And the final verse, verse 22, says, "Let all their evil doing come before you, and deal with them as you have dealt with me, because of all my transgressions. For my groans are many, and my heart is faint." Chapter 2 of Lamentations speaks more of the destruction of Jerusalem, and it speaks more on God's anger specifically. It describes how the Lord covered Jerusalem with his anger. He has rid Jerusalem of its beauty and destroyed its palaces and broken down its walls, so its defenses. His law is no longer observed by his people, and the prophets no longer see visions. This chapter says that the elders sit in silence and the young men weep, and the author himself is overwhelmed with grief. Verse 12 gives us a picture of one aspect of what life was like. It says, "They cry to their mothers, 'Where is bread and wine?'" It's talking about children here. "As they faint like a wounded man in the streets of the city, as their life is poured out on their mother's bosom." It makes it clear that the enemies are rejoicing over this as well. It talks about the people of Jerusalem crying out to God. It says, "Their heart cried to the Lord, O wall of the daughter of Zion. Let tears stream down like a torrent day and night. Give yourself no rest, your eyes no respite. Arise, cry out in the night, at the beginning of the night watches. Pour out your heart like water before the presence of the Lord. Lift your hands to him for the lives of your children who faint for hunger at the head of every street." And at this point, priests and prophets had been executed in the sanctuary, and mothers had eaten their own children. There's a bunch of people laying dead in the streets, and so the author of these Lamentations at this point is crying out to God to remember his people and to end this destruction.